Okay.
I've seen three different prescription periods being bandied around. There's, of course, the 1
One?
year under the
Yeah.
revised penal code.
Right, 12.
And there's
12 years.
under, is this the one under
The RA.
RA 3326 on
Yes.
special laws?
Yes.
And then I
Special
think there's one
laws,
on
yes.
15 years. Which one does apply?
Well, for me,
That's part of it.
Well, in the dissenting opinion of Chief Justice Sereno before, in the Decini versus Secretary of Justice case, for the unconstitutionality of the cybercrime law, that's one of the things that she pointed out. If we agree that cyber libel will be constitutional, it necessarily affects the prescriptive period under Article 90 of the Revised Penal Code because cyber libel law will increase the
The
penalty
penalty.
to 1 degree higher,
Yeah.
which means that from prisión correctional, it will now be prisión mayor. And prisión mayor under Article 90 has 15 years prescriptive period. So that's a gray area which has to be settled as well by the Supreme Court. What will apply? Will we apply the 1 year still, Article 90, saying libel for 1 year, or the 15 years, or the RA for special law? However, if of course, si Attorney Te here is a criminal law professor. It's basic in criminal law that any doubt should be interpreted in favor of the accused.
Yes, on the other hand,
maganda yung laban ni Maria on this aspect.
On the other hand, I think we just happened to mention this in passing, but I want to drill down on that. On the other hand, if the theory is accepted on continuing publication, there is no prescriptive
There is none. There is none, basically.
Unless
So
it's taken down.
I was about to say that would be the fourth period, if ever, meaning none.
Yeah.
And I would agree with Reggie, no, but just the 1 or 15 or 1 or 12.
Yeah.
Yung 12 medyo malabo.
Malabo yung
But
12
the 1
talaga.
or 15, because the 15-year prescriptive period would depend on the penalty that is imposed. But the court has also said, and I think even the Solicitor General at the time that the Cybercrime Act was argued, they all agree that the offense does not change. It's still libel.
The same offense
It's still
under the
libel
revised penal code.
committed by means of a computer system. It's different from saying it's a new offense because you use a computer system. No? Because it's the same offense, it cannot be a different prescriptive period. 1 year lang yan. No? But again, Reggie makes a valid point that because if someone who is convicted of cyber libel will be imposed a penalty that's 1 degree higher, technically the 1 degree higher would have meant a different prescriptive period. But that comes at the end, not at the beginning. So you can't say yet at the start na 15 years yan, no? Because it's the same offense. It's the very same offense. All the elements of proof are the same.
Yeah.
The only thing that is different is the means by which it was committed. Yun lang. That's the only thing. For the accused does not need to prove or disprove anything new.
Yeah.
It is an additional element for the prosecution to say this was committed by means of a computer system. Yun lang. That's the only thing that changed.
But there is also a question here of, the realities of how stories get circulated nowadays. Yung kanina, yung sa example mo, I publish it in a paper in Manila.
Yeah.
I republish it in a paper in Tacloban. Obviously, it's a different push,
Right.
as we say nowadays. Nowadays, if I edit an article, there is no push.
Yes.
Right? Even if you were to grant that is a republication, nonetheless, there is no element of the push. Unless now you get into the discussing, was it posted on social media, was it ano. But for things like that, you could just be correcting for clerical purposes or mayroon lang talagang obsi sa staff mo, no, who wants to correct every single apostrophe. But in that case, the technology also allows that, di ba? You edit it, but now you're getting into that area where you have to take a finer line to what is publication, and for that matter, what is distribution.
Yes, that's right.
I think what you can also ask as well is, what is the real intention for the edits? Because if the intention, as you know, online, meron rin namang mga media outlets dyan that they try to edit it, sabihin lang nila, iniba lang yung punctuation, but actually, it's on their mind, they want to republish it, they want it to to go on top of the search list. So
That's right.
because
Ah,
of the
that's
fact
right.
that
You
it's
could
a
be
late-
gaming the algorithm
Correct,
of
correct,
Google.
correct.
correct.
So but that's a factual matter that has to be threshed out in court.
Yeah.
So that's a defense that they can say, and that's another thing that the prosecution can also prove na hindi talaga ganun yun. Na it's really just a editing, minor editing of a same article.
So a good question, for example, I anticipate the lawyers will ask this anyway, but you can anticipate the lawyers of Mr. King saying, if it was such a minor edit, if it's just for a comma, why
Yeah.
edit a comma 2 years after?
Yeah.
Diba? And then Rappler will
Yeah.
have to explain
Yeah,
that.
that's a good
Well,
point.
Rappler will have to explain that. But in the same way, because of the prescriptive period issue, the private complainant will also have to explain
Yeah.
why it took so long
Yeah.
for
you
them
to
to file a
file.
complaint. If it was so offensive in the first place, why it takes so long to file a complaint? No? And the second point, dun sa medyo overbroad kasi yung words na continuous republication. For example, if it's not a comma, it's not it's not a period, but it's a portion that's, let's say, favorable to the complainant, the
Yeah,
one who
yeah.
was libeled. No? Or later on, he decided, gusto kong
Nag-reply siya
mag-reply
doon,
ako. And then I put it 2 years after. I didn't change anything except to put it in. Does that mean it's a republication?
correct, yeah.
Does that make it any less libelous? Does it make it more libelous? Those are the gray areas, as ma'am, you put it. No? Totoo yan. Those are areas which the judge now has to wrestle with and grapple and decide. No? And whatever the decision or order will be, will have a huge impact on the libel laws here and cyber libel laws.